Aliens, doomsday prophecies, demons, elder gods?
Are you experiencing existential dread spirals?
Yes! How do I stop my science-minded brain melting into whimpering sludge?
Enjoy your favorite dishes with friends. Taste buds ground us in reality, and good company provides distraction.
Oh man, Aunt May makes the best clam linguine. No matter what I'm dealing with, that recipe makes me whole.
Unfortunately, home cooking is not anyone's forte at the Abbey.
Is it reckless to ask Ileana to open a portal for some takeout? Never mind. I heard myself say it. It does seem frivolous. You know what? Perhaps the best way to get my head on straight is to learn to cook. I'm gonna try my hand at Aunt May's clam linguine.
Noodles and seafood?
Yeah. I think it'll be my way of eating tentacled gods. I will literally eat my fears. Thanks, Hunter. I think that was helpful. The sky routinely cracks open these days, so I guess I really don't know anything.
Been meaning to ask, when you woke up and saw a half-vampire in the Abbey, well, was your first thought about killing me?
You had not proven yourself an enemy, so I did not treat you as such.
As long as you think fast, there's a fine line between choosing your target and hesitating. If I become a threat to the rest of you, or to the people out in the world, what I'm asking is, if I lost control, would you stop me? Could you do what needs doing?
You are my friend. I cannot imagine doing that.
Well, you need to, because it could happen. You know that more than anyone. I don't know how Lilith does her thing, but I refuse to become one of her fallen. If there's ever a question, I want you to know my answer.
I understand.
All right then. Didn't expect to have that much fun.
I did not think church was your style, day one.
Actually, it's Eric. Eric Brooks from Harlem.
I do not have any other name. It is just Hunter.
Really? I thought you'd have some old formal sounding name like Charlotte or Martha.
Afraid not. I was born a weapon and raised as one. I am guessing that is why Caretaker chose to just call me Hunter. She did not want to give me the impression I was allowed to be human.
Well, Sarah isn't exactly known for her warm parenting style. Can't say my mentor was much better. He was hard on me too. Wanted to make sure I survived.
You had a mentor?
I wasn't born this cool. Someone had to teach me. His name was Jamal Afari, a vampire hunter. He gave me the name Blade. He used to take me to church on Sundays when I was a kid. Taught me right from wrong.
Well, if it means anything to you, he did a fine job teaching you morality and ethics.
Sometimes I think the difference between taking the high road and slumming it in the gutter is having enough to lift you up. He could have killed me, you know. And he would have been within his rights to put me down too. But he didn't. Jamal was the first person to look past the fangs and see my humanity. Trained me to control my darkness so I could become the vampire hunter I am today. I guess what I'm saying is, you deserve that same benefit of doubt. You may be a demon child, but I see the human in you winning.
I would like to extend the same sentiment to you, as a friend.
I don't need it, but I'll take it. It's good to have someone keep you in check.
So what happened to this Jamal Afari? Do you still keep in touch?
No, I killed him.
Why? What happened?
He asked too many questions. Just kidding. You keep showing me I can trust you, and maybe I'll tell you the whole story someday. But for now, I just want to let you know you're not all bad, Hunter. Just half bad, and that's good enough for me.
Hello, Hunter.
Is there something I can help you with? You are looking at me funny.
Was I? Huh. You read me so well. I was just thinking about how much you remind me of Lilith when she was young.
You have never really spoken of her before.
I guess I don't like to dredge up old memories, especially the painful ones.
What was my mother like when she was younger?
Better than me, that was for sure. She was the brave one, kind and courageous. Everyone loved her. Me most of all. So you can imagine how hard it was for me when she sold her soul.
Perhaps you did not know her as well as you thought.
I suppose you're right. As much as I don't want to admit it. She had everything going for her. Everything. Beauty, brains, talent, compassion. She could have done anything, and she just threw it all away for power. What a waste. We should have been a family.
I suppose we have each other.
Yes, yes we do. And for now, that is enough.
Meet you there.
Let's head over.
My plan backfired. Thought choosing a weird book would drive people away.
Why would you do that?
More punch for the rest of us.
Why have I not heard of Crash Morgan? I know it's an older book, but this is exactly the kind of story I like.
I thought Logan might bail. But I told him we'd bring more snacks this time. I have him figured out. You good?
I am ready.
All right, Logan, I need to know. Why did you choose this book?
I'll tell you, just not yet. I want to hear what you thought of this book.
It was written in the 1940s, so I expected some repugnant attitudes and phrases. But it surprised me. The writing was simple, yet the story was deeper than it had any right to be.
What was your favorite part?
It's in the chapter where Crash and the princess escape the Zorgots. The next morning, they see the sun rise and Mars rising beside it. When the princess asks what the future holds and Crash just stares at Mars as it eclipses the sun, it gave me chills.
Is it just me, or do the stellar bodies represent their time together?
Absolutely. The time they have together is fleeting. I think this is where Crash first realizes there's no future for the two of them. Anyway, I think the moment gets lost when the Zorgots deploy their Null Stalkers.
I don't get why the robot dog didn't warn them. I thought it could talk.
Not until number 19, the minefields of the reticulates. It's a whole thing.
Got it. So, what's the idea with Crash's promise?
What about it?
When Crash apprehends Glaxogorp, they have a tense conversation in the back of the flypod. Crash says there's a way the Zorgots can leave the moon with everything they want, but the princess must take the throne. Then Crash vows that no queen of royal blood shall ever rule Deimos. Glaxogorp agrees, but why? Crash breaks the vow in the next chapter.
That makes no sense. Why say Queen of Royal Blood?
You're right. I can't believe I missed that. And how does that tie into the Hydro gunfight at the top of the space scraper?
Really? You don't see it?
I do.
They're shapeshifters.
Who?
Crash and Glaxogorp.
No.
Yep.
But then, when do they...
The Hydro gunfight. Crash gets hit in the helmet and goes down. And what happens whenever Crash is unconscious?
The helmet changes color. Turns bronze like the suit.
Right. Then Glaxogorp pulls up on the rocket sled and takes Crash and the princess into custody. That's when they make the switch. Crash and Glaxogorp change form, but where do they stash the princess?
That rocket sled has a bunch of places to hide a princess.
Ah, but the next time you see the sled, Glaxogorp passes it off to another Zorgot and orders it to be sterilized. Their plan required her to be in Crash's suit. The opaque helmet keeps her safe. So we get to the Deimos Council meeting. The princess refuses the throne and declares her love for Crash, who is the princess in Crash's suit. When they embrace, the false princess deactivates the Magna Manacles binding Crash. But Crash nabs the Star Scepter from the fake princess, activates the suit's zoom vest, and smashes through the monoculus.
So, if that's the actual princess, she escapes. But who is the false princess?
That's a shape-shifted Glaxogorp. Without the Star Scepter, Deimos can't crown their queen.
Right. She never wanted it, and the Zorgots definitely don't want it. Glaxogorp, posing as the princess, can steer Deimos away from war.
And when the fake Glaxogorp vows the Star Scepter shall be restored to the princess, that's actually Crash.
So Crash made two vows and broke neither of them. The cliffhanger with Glaxogorp chasing Crash's ship is actually Crash returning to the princess so they can escape Deimos.
You got it. They reveal the switcheroo at the beginning of number 6, Attack of the Intergalactic Space Weasels.
Clever. I like it more now. And that's where we'll call it for tonight.
So, Logan, why did you pick... I almost wish this book was a comic instead. I would have liked to see the Monoculus.
My book was the best of them.
You have only been to 2 meetings.
Yeah, but you know I'm right.
You did not mention a book for next time.
Yeah, with everything going on, I'm gonna put book club on a hiatus. Until things are less apocalyptic.
Book club really was not my thing.
Really? Then why did you keep showing up?
To see if you struck out with Carol.
Should have known.
I definitely thought that you would... How does she say it? Crash and burn?
I'm happy to disappoint. Actually, I need to thank you for sticking around since the beginning. For all your help with Carol.
Of course.
I don't get close to many people. I never get into relationships. That's not a rule I ever break. But I did with Carol. Beyond all the reasons, I find her amazing. Do you know why?
You are into her because she can kick your ass.
That's exactly it.
Really? I was joking.
I'm not. Vampires fight dirty. They'll kill whoever you love just because they can. If they really want you to suffer, they'll turn your true love into one of them. That's why dating me is a death sentence, and I refuse to put that weight on anyone. But can you imagine some pissant vampire trying to chow down on Captain Marvel? First, his fangs would snap off on contact with her skin. Then she'd just chuck it into space. No hiding from the sun out there. There's no way they can ever touch her. But it's not just that.
It is you. She is safe from you.
Yeah. I never break my rule because I know deep down there's a chance I could lose control. But with Carol, hell, she could hold me over her head till I was myself again. Wouldn't even break a sweat.
Completely unrelated, I want to watch Captain Marvel bench press Blade.
I would not.
You are no fun.
And you already knew that. Well, I'm glad you joined me for all of this. Maybe next time the world is ending, I'll start a sparring club.
A sparring club? Is that just training with a fancy name?
You saw right through me. You leaving?
I should leave.
Righteous.
Forgive me if I'm being too nosy, Hunter, but I'm curious to know what you think of this modern world you find yourself in.
You want honesty?
I would settle for nothing less.
Where do I begin? There is so much that fascinates me about your time. The food is vibrant, Stark's inventions are fascinating, the automobiles.
Ah, yes, cars. I haven't driven in a very long time. Not since my accident.
Well, you should not allow a simple accident to keep you away.
Yes, well, if I had not had that accident, I would not be standing before you today. Not as the Sorcerer Supreme, anyway. Despite the wonders of this modern era, ancient notions of fate are still quite powerful.
How do you hope to keep up with everything happening these days?
I do not concern myself with it too much. What's important will find its way to me. The rest will fall away on its own.
That seems wise.
It's still a big world, Hunter. If you try to focus on everything, you will only get lost. Please excuse me.
Well met.
It was hard enough getting used to the midnight.
You are one of the Midnight Suns.
Now, yes, but not at the beginning. I was the strange woman who spoke to no one. It must be worse for you, Hunter. All the faces are new, except for Caretaker.
Sometimes it feels like I am blundering through all of this.
Well, you're doing something right amidst your blundering. You made at least one friend. I will tell you a secret. Do not laugh. I have a tiny envy for how you make friends so quickly.
How so?
It comes so easy to you. Even when you are a bat, you are a likable bat.
You like my butt?
Hunter, this right here, this is you being a bat.
As long as I am likable.
Ha, up for debate. Whatever you're doing, keep doing. Don't waste the time hiding in your room. I love this.
You wanted to speak?
I see you, Hunter. I notice what you've been up to.
And what have I been up to exactly?
Bad things. Very bad things. The worst. You should see the look on your face. I meant that in a good way. You're embracing the darkness more and more every day, owning it, but not letting it own you. And more importantly, you're proving to be quite a good friend.
I am touched and honored to be considered a friend to you, Ileana.
Just don't let it go to your head. For years in this realm, I felt out of place. I was a sorceress who used the darkness within her for the cause of light and life. No one understood me, and most people were terrified. Then I met the Midnight Suns, and they showed me how to make a home in this world. It never felt right for a bad girl like me to fight with the good guys. Until you showed me how.
You have shown me a lot too, Ileana.
Perhaps, but I haven't told you everything. My time growing up in Limbo was difficult. The creature who brought me there.
Mephisto?
The very same. He sought to blacken my soul with corruption, forced me to hurt, to curse. to kill. I hate what he did, what he made me do. But without it, I am not the person you know. And I would never have met you. Am I a monster for being grateful it happened as it did?
Of course not. A terrible creature inflicted pain on a friend of mine. Worse, he made her think it was her own fault.
It was my fault.
He was always the monster, Ileana. Never you. That is what I see.
I do not agree. But I trust you. I shall consider what you said, okay?
Okay.
Thank you for listening to me, friend.
Boss, your advice for dealing with the ghost girl in my room was, well, I didn't follow it exactly, but I appreciate your feedback. And that's why I need your help with another potential haunting. Say it's bad enough that even the ghost girl cleared out. How would you, handle something like that?
The Abbey is filled with spirits. Might I suggest making peace with whatever specter also occupies your room?
Like, make friends with it?
That is one way of putting it.
I don't think we're talking about a cute little friendly Abby ghost. At around 3 in the morning, every morning, I wake up to wailing and the stench of what can only be described as a mixture of old socks and eggs that are about 50 years past their expiration date. I looked it up, and the internet said the smell of rotting eggs wasn't just a sign of a regular run-of-the-mill poltergeist, but something, you know, demonic.
Are you sure it is not Dr. Strange?
Now that you mention it, Stephen does practice magic late at night.
Mystery solved, then.
If only there were someone I could hire to exorcise him. Maybe magic? Something tells me she wouldn't mind having one less Avenger living here. Thanks for the talk, Hunter. Let's do it again sometime soon.